He looks a lot more like Kirk Cousins than Patrick Mahomes to me. Of course he does. He's 40 years old. I was told yesterday the Saints had to talk him back into playing. He was ready to go. And Sean Payton said, you got to give me one more year. Is he all in? I don't know. But Brett Favre said yesterday, stop picking on Drew Brees, stop picking on Tom Brady. Here's the legend Brett Favre.
It's way premature to think either guy is over the hill. I think physically speaking, they're fine. You're not asking Drew Brees or Tom Brady to be Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson. What they do, the way they play, and how they've played for so many years, they still have that. They're not asked to be very mobile. If you can protect them, they'll pick you apart. There's no difference today than 8 years ago, other than the age, based on how you ask them to play and how they play. You know, what I'm talking about is more mental.
No, there is a big difference. It's called the league. Here's the 2-0 quarterbacks in the league. Notice a trend. I want Russell Wilson mobile, Lamar mobile, Patrick Mahomes mobile, Aaron Rodgers mobile, Big Ben extends plays, Josh Allen mobile. Tannehill was a college wide receiver. We never, ever doubt Tannehill can run. It's always been the throw. Derek Carr, he's very Tony Romo, can move. Kyler Murray mobile. Mitch Trubisky mobile. Jared Goff. Colin, Jared Goff is not mobile. Oh, but yes, he is in the Rams offense because the Rams, 70% of the time, the Rams, and Joy to my witness, you as my witness, nobody moves the pocket more than the Rams. They move it more than Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. They roll out every time. They're multiple. No team in the league moves the pocket more and manipulates it at a dizzying pace like the Rams. So in this offense, and by the way, Goff throws very well on the run. He's not Matt Ryan at all. He throws very well on the run. He's not Dwayne Haskins, whose accuracy dips when he moves. Goff's a very good thrower, especially throwing to his right side. So that's mobile. Even Mitch Trubisky, who most of us think is limited, do you realize in the NFL that it's so catered now to mobile quarterbacks, he's 21-10 under Matt Nagy. He's 21-10. He's 25-18. That includes the rookie year with John Fox, who didn't know what the heck he was doing with him. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, the two quarterbacks we've seen we like. What are they? Oh, they're mobile. Next year, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, the top 3 quarterback prospects. What are they? Mobile. Now let me give you a list of many of the quarterbacks who are 0-2. Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. They run out of necessity. They are not mobile. That's the league. That's why I can't buy into the Saints as a Super Bowl team. Did not last year. It's why I can't pull the trigger on Tampa Bay as a Super Bowl team. It's not only are Brees and Brady old school, they're old guys and old school. The league is demanding more. Trubisky is a quarterback Chicago. People in Chicago don't believe in. He's 21-10 under Matt Nagy. This is too much data to disregard. The league is changing. Mobility at quarterback is 70% of it. Pocket guys, unless they have, and by the way, Dak is 1-1. But for those who like Dak is mobile. So it's nothing against Brees and Brady. They're old school guys who are now old. But the league 7-8 years ago was not this. You could not go and I could not give you a chart and say, oh, all the mobile guys are 2-0. It was often the opposite. The guys that ran around a lot, you're like, they got to be a pocket guy. I just think the league's changing. It's only 2 weeks, but we have evidence. I cannot consider the Saints a Super Bowl team. And as much as I like Brady, I think their story is really right now much more defense than offense. And I don't know if they ever click. I think they get better, but it's very tough in 2020 in the NFL to be old school and old. Joy of the news.
No.
Turn on the news.
This is the Herd Line News.
The Giants have signed running back Devontae Freeman to a 1-year contract worth up to $3 million. He'll fill in for Saquon Barkley, who is out for the rest of the season with a torn ACL. Freeman could get some playing time this Sunday against the 49ers. He played in 14 games with Atlanta in 2019, 184 carries, 656 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, Saquon Barkley only missed 3 games last year with a high ankle sprain, 217 carries, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Saquon is not a replaceable piece for the Giants, obviously, not just from his performance, but he's also the face of that franchise at this point.
Which doesn't have one beyond him.
Right. And the Giants are 0-2, losing to the Steelers, and this week to the Bears.
There are stories emerging. I got to tell our audience this because I don't think most of our audience knows this. The New York television ratings for the Jets and Giants are the lowest they've ever been. So the NFL's ratings are right now holding steady when the biggest city in America has turned off football. The Jets' ratings over the weekends were like a 3. That's a Yankee regular season baseball game. And the Jets have a lot of fans. There are discussions in New York today. Trevor Lawrence, these are the 2 worst teams in the league we've seen. Easily, Jets and Giants are the 2 worst teams. Both, they may pick 1 and 2. Do they go with Trevor Lawrence? If I'm the Giants, I got to think long and hard about it. But if you're the Jets, because they don't have a marketable piece. Trevor Lawrence is not only great, he's not only a A-plus prospect, he's marketable. He's been the best college player for now 2 to 3 years. So just ask yourself this. Washington appears to be too good defensively to get the top 1 or 2 pick.
Right.
Jacksonville is too good offensively to get the 1 or 2 pick.
And they seem to like Gardner.
It is developing very quickly now.
But which team
The
quarterback would you bail on?
I'll talk about it later, but it's a real top of next hour. I want to talk about this, but I'll just throw this out. There are discussions now. Trevor Lawrence, the Jets or the Giants are the 2 worst teams in the league. And Joy, I don't even think it's close to this point. I don't think it's Detroit's the only one I'd even mention.
That's great news if you're Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, at either of those teams, just because they're in New York, is amazing.
It used to be, Joy, we gave quarterbacks. Eli Manning's 3rd year in the league.
No time. You get no time.
He was awful. His 4th year, they won a Super Bowl. He led the NFL in picks.
Baker Mayfield has had 3 coaches, 4 if you count an interim, and we expect him to not only be great, but he has to get it done this season or he's probably going to be gone.
So the whole Giants-Jets thing is the ratings in New York are terrible. What's telling you is there's nobody to put your arms around.
Yeah.
See, there's nobody in the city. There is no Eli. They don't have their Jeter. They don't have their Strahan. They don't have their, for a while it was Victor Cruz. They don't have their Odell Beckham. There's no star. Now Barkley's out. Trevor Lawrence to the Jets and Giants is a real possibility. I read 2 stories yesterday. It's not smoke. It's like the discussion in the league right now.
Well, the Giants' next 4 opponents are the 49ers, who are obviously very banged up, but still, even with injuries, are going to beat them. At the Rams.
They'll lose.
At the Cowboys. And then they have Washington. So it could be really bleak for the Giants very quickly. So Cam Newton has been a great fit for the Patriots so far. He's only on a 1-year deal, but he says getting an extension with the team is not a priority right now.
That is literally the last of my worries. Money at this particular point in my career is not important, right? And let's be honest. Like I've made money, but for everything that I play this game for, I haven't received yet. And that's why I'm playing. So it's not about money. It's about respect.
Cam's saying all the right things, but obviously they're kind of poking him there a little bit. You know, there's some momentum with the Patriots now. We're kind of starting to talk about, is this more than a temporary situation? But he's right. He's not thinking about money right now. He knew what the situation was when he came to New England.
Well, he wouldn't sign with them if money was the issue.
Right, and he's made around $122 million just in the NFL. That's not counting endorsements and whatever else he's made outside of the league. So money is not an issue. Once you're making over $100 million, like, he's in a situation where he needs to recreate his career, and he's doing so, but we're 2 games in. He's not thinking about money. He signed an incentivized contracts, a 1-year deal, base salary of $1 million.
Even if the Patriots thought, we want to get one of these new quarterbacks, wouldn't you sign him to an extension to at least be a mentor for a year so you wouldn't? Even Trevor Lawrence, I'd rather he sit for 6 to 8 games.